Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yemi. If you're new here, welcome. This week, I want us to talk about regrets. Yes, regrets in terms of when people get older or as we move on in life, we're bound to do some things. And as humans, sometimes, we look back and we feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I feel so bad for what I did, or I just have so much regret for this decision that I made. And I want us to focus on regret today just to see how can we overcome regrets. Now, regret can be in two parts where you have remorse, where you feel bad for doing something and you want to undo that thing, and maybe you have opportunity to undo it. But the type of regrets that I want us to talk about today are things that you really cannot undo. But then every time, every now and then, every night when you settle down to sleep, or when you're just doing things, that random thought comes to you and you just feel so weighed down by regret, and you just still like, continuing to think about that thing that has happened in the past that you have no power over to change. So, to overcome such emotion or such state is what I want us to focus on today. If you are interested, please continue to watch. Welcome again. This is a space where we talk about all things wellness, wellness in our body, wellness in our minds, wellness in our emotions, wellness in our relationship with one another, and also with God as well. Today, we're going to be talking about emotional wellness. Yes, emotional wellness in terms of regrets. Regret in itself is a negative emotional state where you have this feeling of wanting to undo something that has happened in the past, but as we know, it's something that you cannot undo, right? And also, regret can also be seen as just having remorse or having just this deep, overwhelming feeling of sadness because of an event that happened in the past. So, if you're interested, continue to watch. As always, I ask that you guys subscribe, share this video. Don't keep this video to yourself. Let's share the love. Share the video with your friends and subscribe. To all my new subscribers, I want to say thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys. And to my returning subscribers, thank you. I love you guys so much. There's so many things that can cause someone to have regrets. For some people, it might be the fact that you made a bad choice that affected your family, maybe a teenage pregnancy, maybe you broke up a relationship, or maybe you stayed in a relationship that you were abused and you felt like, oh, I should have gotten out way longer, or you made a wrong financial move that affected your family and you lost your job, you lost your source of income, or it might just be that you did something that resulted in maybe a loss of life even. So there's so many different scenarios for so many people that could cause one to experience regret. Now, I want us to know that as humans, there will always be mistakes. We as humans are bound to make mistakes. We cannot be perfect in everything that we do. You might try as much as you can, but as human beings, we are made in such a way that we have no choice but to live in an imperfect world. And as people, we are imperfect people. I know some people are perfectionists by nature, but still with that, you will make mistakes. So the first thing I want you to know, in order for you to overcome regret, is to know that you are human. You are bound, and I am bound as a human being to make mistakes. If we begin to acknowledge our humanity, our faults as humans, or our flaws as humans, and allow ourselves to be humans, then we know that there is no way that we can be perfect in life. After acknowledging that you are human and that you have faults, the next thing you want to do is to do an analysis of what is causing you the regrets. Sometimes the emotion just overcomes and overwhelms you, and you don't even know, why am I feeling bad? Why, am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling depressed? So you want to do an analysis of, why are you having this regret? What actually brought you to the stage of where you are now wallowing in regrets? Once you know, okay, this is why I'm having regrets, and you've made an analysis of that situation, the next thing I want you to ask yourself is, can I undo what has happened? If your answer is no, then the next thing is, you want to ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? What can I learn from this event that happened? How do I begin to make changes from the event that happened? And that brings us to the next thing that you should be doing. Once you have acknowledged that you're human, you've looked at what actually caused you and brought you to that place of regret, and you've asked yourself, what have I learned from this situation? Then the next thing is, you really want to do the opposite of what caused you to have regrets. A good example is, if you are somebody that maybe you gambled the family money away and you spent it on maybe gambling habits or bad habits, what you want to do now is do the very opposite. Instead of wasting money, you want to be a saver, right? You want to save money, and you want to be very careful about how you spend money. You want to stop gambling. Another thing is, if you were somebody that maybe you were in a relationship and you cheated, and now you feel so bad, about cheating and hurting your family, you want to do the opposite of that. What did you learn from that situation? So really look at what you've learned from the situation and begin to do the opposite. At times, it sounds a lot easier than said. You might need help. You might need professional help for you to, come out from that particular thing. For a lot of people, regret doesn't come every single day. There are things that trigger that emotion. There are things that trigger the thoughts. For some people, it might be at nighttime when you're about to sleep, you're on the bed and you just begin to have the thoughts or the feelings, or some certain things that you smell or you see might bring that emotion back to you, or might bring that feeling of regret back to you. What you want to do is also to know what your triggers are. Know what triggers that feeling, that emotion, that regret for you. Once you know what triggers your emotion, then if you're able to avoid the triggers, that might be a good thing. Or the best thing is now being aware and preparing yourself ahead of time that, oh, whenever I'm in this situation, this is what happens to me. You just being aware takes half of the problem away, because now you know exactly where that emotion is coming from, and you are able to prep yourself ahead of being exposed to the trigger. To overcome regret, you have to stop the negative self-talk. Most times with regrets, people would go about and dwell on the same thing over and over and over. It almost becomes like an obsession. So you really have to stop negative self-talk. For you to stop negative self-talk, you have to start replacing that self-talk with positive self-talk. Just like we had said before, you want to do opposite. So instead of talking negative and talking like, I'm a failure, I'm such an idiot, I shouldn't have fallen for that scam, now you begin to just say that, you know what, I am smart. It just happened, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen again. I am lovable. Because this person rejected me in this relationship, it doesn't mean that another person cannot love me. I am lovable. I am beautiful. Just begin the positive self-talk and affirmation. And before you know it, it will drive regret away. Also, redesigning your life. look at what you learned from the situation and use that to redesign your life. I talked a little bit about redesigning your life and how to reinvent your life in the video. I'm going to put the link up here for us. You can look at that video to redesign your life, start over again. And that might help you just overcome that situation that you've been wallowing. You know, the saying that, the very common saying that says, what's done is done. That means that this thing is done. It cannot be undone, right? It cannot be undone. So just using on the springboard of that, you really want to move on and let go. Forgive yourself. Forgive people surrounding that situation, and decide that you're going to move on from that situation. If you want to learn more about forgiveness, I'll put the link up here because I've already discussed that in one of my videos. You can watch that video. But definitely, forgiveness and moving on helps you to overcome regret. Remember gratitude. Remember gratitude. Most times we look back at the past and we feel that, oh, maybe I could have done better. Oh, maybe this would have happened. Maybe if I married that person, I would have all the children that I'm thinking of. Maybe if I took that job, I would be rich and have a lot of money in my bank account. If you're in that situation where you're thinking maybe, use gratitude and thank God for where you're at now, because you don't know that that thing that you're dwelling on maybe something that could have caused you harm or brought you a lot of trouble. I'm going to share some practical tips with you guys. Whenever regret comes to your mind, what you want to do is you want to actually speak against it, right? For example, if feel regret and you feel like, oh, I'm hopeless, you want to actually say out and say that I am hopeful, I have faith, I can do it, I'll make it, I am already making increase, I'm already making changes, I am becoming the person that God wants me to be. So you want to actually speak out words against that thought. Don't leave negative thoughts alone. Once you have the negative thought, you want to open up your mouth and say something back to that thought. If you feel that, oh, I am ugly, say out and say that I am beautiful. If you feel that, oh, I have failed, my family has left me and they have abandoned me, even if they have, what you want to say is, my family is coming back to me. People are going to help me. I'm going to be surrounded by people that love me. I am going to rebuild. I am going to make it. I am making it already. And I am loved. I am not abandoned. I am not isolated. Begin to speak those words. As you speak those words, they're going to cancel that negative thoughts away from you. Start a gratitude journal. Write down, where you're at in life. Celebrate the moment you are in. If you feel that, oh, I don't have money, I've lost a lot, and don't focus on the past. Just make sure that you are writing about the things that you have at this moment. And a lot of times when we think deep and we look within us, we have so many things that others are even looking for. In your space where you are right now, start a gratitude journal and begin to be thankful for where you are at, the chance that you have to relive your life, the chance you have to redesign your life, and be grateful for what you have in the moment. Other ways to combat regret is by exercising. I already said before that regret is an emotional state, right? So exercising helps to release endorphins, the happy hormones. You can exercise, you can listen to music, you can dance, just things that will produce happiness in you. Once you have happy chemicals in your body, or you're listening to something that makes you happy, then absolutely that will help to reduce or to eliminate that negative emotional state of regret away from you. I always recommend affirmations. Use daily affirmations to speak to yourself, to speak to your soul. It helps. There are plenty of, it depends on the situation you are in. I'm in a period where I'm asking for grace. I'm asking for strength for me to show up, to show up here and to show up in my daily life, to show up and be there and be strong for my family. So I'm affirming myself with grace and strength from the Word of God. So I'm saying to myself that, Yemi, you have the grace of God. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Your heart is made strong by the grace of God. So I'm releasing this word to myself to help me to show up, to help me to be present. So I don't know what situation you are in, but I want you to start using daily affirmation. When you get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and speak reassuring words to yourself. And trust me, it works. You have to give it time though. Don't just do it one day and expect that, oh, I should feel better by now. No, continue to do it. Continue to do it. Give yourself time. All right, friends. So I want you to share with me, what do you do to overcome regrets or feelings of things that you cannot undo? Have you ever experienced that before? How do you deal with that? Let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. So that's it for this week. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you for sharing this video. Thank you for your feedbacks and your comments and your love. I appreciate you guys so very much. I look forward to seeing you next week in my next video. Take care and I will see you. Bye.